A case when a client complains about pain, but at first glance, visually, nothing seems to be happening. But if we look closer, we can see slightly reddish lateral folds. We'll begin the procedure with this foam, which is antiseptic, keratolytic, and offers an astringent effect. So we apply it, wait for it to foam up and work, and then we can start looking for the cause of our discomfort. I'll use a curette for this. And already now you can see that the edge of the nail has a clip-like or U-shaped arch. This really does happen sometimes, and usually such a deformation is caused by shoes pressing down on the nail from above. In other words, there's not enough space, the shoe presses and the arch bends. So as you can see in your video, and of course the logical question that comes up here is what to do with such nails and whether a correction system can be used in this case. And the answer is definitely yes, because a correction is necessary, since this clip-shaped corner will continue to rub and cause even more discomfort. As a result, the client may develop calluses around the nail, with possible ingrowth or an inflammatory condition, as seen here. As you can see, the corner has rubbed here, there is already some redness, and a bit of pus has accumulated. We'll remove and treat this now. And here you can see what kind of hole actually formed there from that corner. Overall, the sensations are very unpleasant. And the correction system that should be used here is specifically the hook type, for example, Tritos or KABA. This is a type of correction system where we place special hooks made of thick wire under the edges of the nail plate. Well, not just any wire, but a special kind of wire as well. They are made using a tool, and each one is made individually for each client. Then they are connected, creating tension, and in this way the correction is performed. In this video, you can see the removal of a periungual callus. You can carefully remove this type of callus with tweezers, which should have a ribbed inner surface. I'll also share a link to the tweezers I use. It's exactly because of this ribbed surface that the piece of skin or nail you're trying to grab won't slip out of your tweezers. But after I checked this callus and realized that it wouldn't come out any further, I didn't pull it out like it's usually shown in videos. Instead, I actually carefully cut it with nippers. Because if we pull it out, there will be a wound, and if there's a wound, of course, that's unpleasant risks and also pain. I've already cut off one corner, cleaning one side, and we can see some content inside, so we'll clean it further with a curette. And let's get back to the conversation about the correction system. While I'm working on the second corner, of course, I've also trimmed it and will continue to trim it, and you can keep trimming it for a long time, meaning it will keep growing and we'll keep trimming it. The thing is, the correction system here is simply inevitable, and we really want to fix something, but in this session we didn't put in the correction system. Now I'll explain my unusual choice. By the way, this is one of the rare times I got a pedicure while working here. Funny enough, these are our co-workers' feet. We hired a new technician, and she was complaining that she was having some pain. We realized she was the ideal model for our courses, especially the hook systems, so we happily chose her. In the meantime, we will apply a tamponade and use special products to relieve her condition and of course to prevent any further inflammation. And then in January, when the group for the hook systems arrives, we will do everything properly. And the most attentive probably noticed that there is a tendency for ingrowth on both the second and third toes. Now you can take a look at the third toe, and near the corner we also see dry skin. That's because the corner and edge of the nail plate have rubbed there a little bit as well. There we will also need to do some cleaning and maybe even put in, for example, a tamponade or perhaps even a correction system. For now we're working on the big toe and I'm placing the tamponade. For this I use a curette. It's a special tool that honestly no pedicure can do without. Not even just an aesthetic one, because the curette is sometimes also called a tampon holder. It has very smooth edges on this. I don't even know how to call it correctly. The pushing element. In general, they are very smooth and easily go under the nail walls, which allows us to distribute the tamponade very carefully and comfortably for the client. And right now in the video, you can clearly see that the tamponade is needed specifically to lift these walls. So now the edges of the nail won't rub against the skin, which means they won't put pressure on the skin, won't cause chafing, and as a result won't lead to calluses around the nail. But in order to deal with the inflammation and relieve discomfort, we will use a special antiseptic gel for ingrown nails. I apply it to the glove and will distribute it in the same way using a curette. You could simply apply it to the nail and then place the tamponade on top, or you can soak the tamponade like I do. The goal is for the material to be soaked with this solution, and then everything will work perfectly. I apologize for the background noise. I hope I didn't upset anyone, but this is the only way I can record the audio. And after our tamponade is placed and soaked, we apply the dressing. My favorite bandage. Sometimes I just feel like an ambassador. If you see these guys, tell them to pay me extra, since I think people started buying about 10 times more because of me. Ben is excellent and we always have him with us. We can't imagine working without him. We always advise clients to use breathable bandages instead of plasters. As always, we work with love. I draw a heart, sometimes a funny face. Soon we'll start her correction system and all will be fine.